See what you motherfuckers are talking about. Oh shit. What y'all talking about? 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 Can y'all hear me? I got my AirPod Maxes in. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? What up, Chris? Are you hearing me? What's up, y'all? Yeah. I'm just not saying, okay, yeah, I got, Black, you got your wrench. I gave it, I put it on there after what happened a couple of days ago in the chat room. I gotta watch out. I don't want the faithfuls getting booted out the room and shit. So I had to make sure I give you that wrench. Yeah. I was gonna do some call-ins earlier, but I didn't feel like it. I had other shit to do. I didn't have time. Talking about that reparation task force. Hey, you know what's funny? That nigga Teddy. You know what's funny? This is an observation from both online and offline. This whole Will Smith situation. This shit is dragging on. And you know what the disappointing part is? It's the men dragging on the Will Smith situation, the Will Smith Chris Rock thing. And the disappointing thing is a lot of the men are gossiping about it. Like, we don't know a whole lot. We only know what they told us. And them niggas is actors. So they can be telling us anything. What's up, Big Pontiac? They could be telling us anything. The way I keep seeing the dudes make up shit, he only did that because of how she treat him and Jada this and Jada that, Jada this. Since when do men dump on women like that? Like that in a relationship? I get talking shit about women. Women deserve to get shit talked about them. They have the shit that they be doing. So I get that part. But the persistence, it's like, nigga, give it a rest. I was just I was just listening to some Kevin Samuels right before I came on here. I'm like, God damn, nigga, you sound gay as fuck. And just the way Kevin Samuels says men, you know, because men, it's almost like he wants to put an S on the end of it. Because the men's, like, nigga, you still talking about Jada Smith like that, dog? Like, if Will Smith decided to marry that bride, then that's what it is. That's it, Nino. And that's what I've been observing. The men that cannot stop going in on Jada, most of these niggas is single with children. Notice that. There's two kinds of dudes that's going in on that. The main dudes not going in on Jada are the married men, the men who are married, because we understand when it comes to marriage, man, especially if you have a good marriage, there's no way to put a good marriage into words. What's up, Mark? What's up, Quan? When you're in a good marriage, there's no way to quantify how you got into it. You cannot quantify why you're attracted to someone. You cannot quantify how you're attracted to someone. A lot of these feelings just is. And even though you know why, put it like this: if someone can put their relationship into words, what's up, Tanya Parker? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's up? Yeah, hit the like button. If somebody can put their relationship into words, then it ain't real or it's temporary. You can't put a relationship into words. You can't measure a relationship by numbers. You can't measure it by dollars. So when I see all these people analyzing it and breaking it down, talking about what Will should have did and how she this and she that, those is mostly them chronically single niggas with kids. The married niggas ain't tripping because we like, okay, yeah, we know what this shit is. So if I'm in the real deal and I cannot quantify how I got into this motherfucker, that means I definitely can't quantify for you what's right to you. Am I lying? What's up, Jeff? What's up, Rob? Don, baby line. When you're in a successful relationship, when you just sit back and look, like I was looking at my wife last night. We was having fun. Me and my wife be kicking it. Me and my wife was kicking it last night. Mad because we had tickets to see Corey Henry and them hoes was postponed. But we was just kicking it last night. And it was like, we can't put this shit into words. So if we can't put our shit into words, how can I put into words for you what's right for you? I want y'all to be very aware of that. Don't listen to nobody talking, especially if they single, trying to make reason of a relationship. There's no way to know. There's no way to know what's right and what's wrong for the next person. No way. I'm been like, damn. And the single niggas without kids, kind of in the middle. It's kind of like what I've noticed so far. The single dudes without kids, it's kind of, 60-40, 50-50. But the single niggas with kids, 90% of them niggas is mad as fuck at Will Smith. I'm like, damn, this whole Will Smith situation is bringing out how you got burnt, nigga. What's up, Pete Rothstein? We was talking about that shit, man. I don't want to talk about that shit too much longer. That was just an observation. That's just an observation. I'm just looking like, God damn, niggas is like, because I'm concerned about the men, man. We the warriors. We the warriors. And if we spending our time bitching and moaning about what another man is doing with his wife, yeah, damn, we fucked up. Yeah, you right. The manosphere niggas ain't nothing but divestors. You damn right about that. These manosphere niggas, god damn. These are the sorriest niggas in captivity. That's real talk, P. Ross. And whatever's going on with their wife is his business. That's their thing. Yeah, you're right, Mark. A lot of black men are off code with Will Smith. And another thing I noticed, a lot of these niggas that are talking shit about Will Smith came to Joe Rogan's defense. They either came to Joe Rogan's defense or they was like, man, I see why he did it. I see why he did it, blah, blah, blah. Like, hold on. With Joe Rogan, you had understanding. Will Smith, you got vitriol. What's wrong with these niggas? That's why I say, nigga, I got love for both of them niggas. Well, fuck the Oscars. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, see them niggas get slapped in the mouth for a lot less than that joke. Another community I'm disappointed in is the comedian community. Yeah, well, I can't say I'm disappointed because y'all be seeing these comics as funny. Most of these niggas is weird. Most of these comedy niggas is weird. They talking all that shit. Well, you can't crack a joke anymore. No, not if it ain't good, you can't. Evan, I hear what you're saying about you saying it distracts black people. I hear where you're coming from. I understand your point of view. But let's just tell the truth. Black people are already the distracted are going to be distracted. That's just how it goes. People who don't want to deal with what's real, they're going to be distracted on whatever. If it ain't no news going on, the distracted is going to be distracted playing iPhone games, strolling through Twitter, seeing the little games pop up where you pull the little pins and shit, the Ebony game, where you pull the pins and lava come out, the little advertisements that be showing. The distracted is going to be distracted $5 at a time playing that little punk ass game. If it ain't nothing like Will and Jada going on, the distracted don't need an excuse to be distracted. You gotta remember that. Hey, what's up, Chris? What's up, Chris? What's up, Bruce? Yeah, fucking Cobra. We got the California task force did the things that we wanted them to the last couple of days, but just keep watching out because they're gonna try to kill this assembly bill. They're gonna try to kill this shit. That's why you niggas in y'all other states, y'all need to pick it up and get these reparations task. Get not from it. Do y'all best to avoid the task force. Get direct reparations if you can, but y'all need to hop on it. It can't just be one state doing this shit. What's up, BB? It really shouldn't be no goddamn task force. It really should just be signing a fucking bill the way they do with everyone else. But if they do a task force, do what we did here in California. And when they had those public meetings, be there. Be there. What up, Mel? You in Arizona? You might be waiting a while. Arizona wasn't fucking Martin Luther King Day into the 90s. You might be a while in Arizona. But what you could do is you can get on your local. I'm pretty sure if you live in a black area, you could get on your local representatives because like here in LA, my my particular state senator is on that reparations task force bill. So that nigga get an email from me like once a month. What's up, Jay? Yeah, Quan, that's what it is. Task force is nothing but a sabotage tactic. It's not task force means they're not serious about what they're doing. That's what task force means. But you can still apply pressure and make it serious. You can do that. Yeah, Steve Bradford, that motherfucker. And it was funny too. A funny story about Stephen Bradford. My first time seeing him was about 10 years ago at the Gardena Jazz Festival. Maybe not even that long, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. At the Gardena Jazz Festival, he always comes out and speaks. Sound like one of them old weird ass boule niggas. I don't know if he is or not, but he talk like one. And we was at the jazz festival, and dude kind of walked past us. He had his chest out with a cigar in his mouth, like walking around like he's just the biggest shit. And so the people are coming up from the city at the garden at the jazz festival, greeting him, saying, "How you doing, Mr. Bradford?" And when the people came up, he was all smiling in their face, like taking pictures, just the biggest, goofiest ass smile you'd ever want to see. Then a minute, he didn't think anyone was looking. The people kind of dispersed, and he didn't think nobody was looking. He looked back at his assistant and was like, "Give me that chapstick, motherfucker. Come on now." I guess the nigga's lips was getting ashy. And he didn't. Me and my wife, we staring at the nigga. He don't know we looking. He went from he went from that goofy little white nigga laugh. Yeah, vote for me in November. Yeah, We have an election coming up. Yeah, vote for me. Yeah, yeah. The minute people walked away, he said, "Man, give me my chapstick, motherfucker." And then he looked up and saw me and my wife staring at him. And he was like, "Hey, how you doing there? Hey, yeah." I'm like, "Oh, this nigga's a fraud." That shit was, it was like that scene in Don't Be a Menace when the dude was when they was preaching and he was like, "Get the offering, motherfucker." Hey, that shit was hilarious. Yeah, he be at Taste of Inglewood. Do I think Joe Rogan's funny? No, I never have thought Joe Rogan was funny. Nope. What's my take on Woody Hutch's contribution to music? The greatest soundtrack guy ever. Willie had some dope albums, but Willie's niche was in soundtracks. He made soundtracks gold. The Mac, nigga, come on now. The Last Dragon, Foxy Brown. Willie Hutch was the man you called when you wanted a soundtrack to your movie. Oh hell yeah! There's announced Taste of Soul gonna be back. Hell yeah! Taste of Soul gonna be back. You said in October. I will be there. I've been at every Taste of Soul so far. I think I may have missed one. I think I may have missed one Taste of Soul. I may have missed one. I love Taste of Soul. So you can't believe the comedy union is gone. Good riddance. They shouldn't have invested all their goddamn money in five comics. That's what I say to that. I'm gonna miss the comedy union because that was a comedy union was my first comedy club I ever went to. He was the first comedy club I ever sat down in the audience and watched comedy. Well, outside of like Fat Tuesdays at the comedy club, but and the comedy union is also where I got my start in comedy. Comedy union is where I met Craig, Big John, Teddy, everybody that y'all see on the internet right now that's famous and shit. We all met at the comedy union. But with that being said, the comedy union didn't really fuck with us like that. It had its own niche of like 6 or 7 comics, and if you weren't in that niche, you didn't get no stage time. And they could have had a lot bigger audiences had they fucked with more than just 6 or 7 comics. Mm. Hey man, I'm looking at y'all fat jokes. These motherfuckers suck right now. Y'all bombing like a motherfucker. Come on now, you act like this ain't algebra, nigga. This is a fat joke. Fat jokes are 2 plus 2. That's as easy as it gets. You niggas suck. And look at Babylon over there eating his own toenails and trying to crack jokes at the same time. Stop, stop. Reset the jokes. Y'all might need to take like 10 minutes off from the jokes. And you like, not only am I not laughing, no one else in here is laughing. You niggas are still going. God damn. That's my nigga in here, Chris Neal. Y'all say what's up to Chris Neal in here. Been knowing Chris Neal since 3rd grade. What was that, 1989? I've been knowing Chris since the 3rd grade. Chris will verify. Chris Neal in the chat room. Where you at, Chris? Say what's up, Chris Neal, to all these motherfuckers. I've been knowing Chris Neal since 1989. All them stories I be telling y'all about the shootings at our elementary school, I was with him. Me and Chris would be at school in the 4th grade. It'd be recess, and all we hear is Tech Nine spraying the school up. Shit, we can't even go to recess because the school just got shot up. Shit, me and Chris grew up in L.A., L.A. Oh, you said your sister just passed, Jack Jones? Man, my condolences, brother. My condolences, Jack. I don't know what I'd do if I lost my sister. Man, my sister, my best friend. I just got on the phone with my sister about 10 minutes before I got on here with y'all just to tell her a joke about another family member. My condolences to you, Jack. For real, for real. You said, appreciate the cash job, Smooth. You said, comedians seem to be aligning together since this Oscar altercation. Jim Carrey. Man, fuck these comedians. These motherfuckers, man, these niggas is a bunch of dick suckers, man. They all aligning with Chris Rock because see they all see themselves as Chris Rock. Let me tell y'all something. The rules of comedy, when it comes to comedy, we men first. We humans first. Oh yeah, RZA Islam lost his mom today, man. Condolences to her, man. Shit. I think RZA Islam is one of the real ones. It's a few of these little young motherfuckers. Not want to say young motherfuckers. They're around my age or just a little bit younger. But there's a few on the young side of the game that I ain't gonna mention no names. I think they're phony as fuck. But not RZA. I think RZA Islam is the real deal, man. So condolences to him. Now some of the people in them associations, you wearing these funny looking hats and shit. Them niggas is, I think them niggas is frauds. But RZA Islam is the real deal, for real, for real. Condolences to him. But what was I saying before that? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, comedians. A lot of these comedians, man, the J spot is open and closed. I don't know what the fuck the J spot is doing. Sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed. I don't know what these niggas doing. But a lot of these comedians, they want to hide behind just a joke. Look, man, we humans first, and that's why I try to tell people. Hey, Chris, both of y'all Chris's, come to Craig Facts Live April 9th, 2 weeks. Put my name down on the ticket. Craig Facts Live. This shit gonna be funny as hell. But and then come and holler at me after the show is over with. But comedians talking about you can't say anything. No, you can't disrespect somebody or their spouse and hide behind it was just a joke. You can't do that. Look, we people first. We people first. It's on my. The show. I don't know. I forgot where the show is. Hit me on my. It's on my Instagram. It's posted on my Instagram. At DwannB on Instagram for the show details. It's posted on my Instagram. At DwannB. I'm gonna post another flyer tonight. But these motherfuckers, comedians. Look, we people first. Look, this is what I try to get people to realize. A basketball player is a man first. A TV actor is a man first. A comedian, whatever you do, you're a man or woman first. And you can't put your title and what you do to make money ahead of being a person. So you can't go talking grimy about people. And then I found out some more information. I wish I knew this information yesterday on Craig Facts. I wish I didn't. I wish. But I found this out after Craig Facts last night. That Chris Rock went off script. The Associated Press reported that that joke about Jada wasn't in the rehearsal. That wasn't a written joke. And it wasn't a rehearsal. So that means he just went Wild Bill. So So you see a whole bunch of comedians now rallying together. We support Chris Rock. Man, y'all niggas sound fake as hell. Chris Rock got something you want. That's the only reason you just want to crowd chase off his moment. That's what 80% of these comedians just crowd chasing off Chris Rock's unfortunate moment. 20% maybe genuine. Yeah, I did not know that until like last night. Oh yeah, that's right, Quan. She did say that. She was traumatized. Like, bitch, what you traumatized for? Dildo was too big? Yeah, Chris Rock has always belittled black people. He don't belittle white people. He says funny jokes, fluffy jokes about white people. He don't belittle them. How did I like the Oscars awarded? I ain't know the Oscars awarded no Latina LGBTQ. I know the Oscars awarded Roman Polanski last night and Harvey Weinstein. Look it up. Harvey Weinstein and Roman Polanski both got awards last night. Are you right? And Amy Schumer talking about some PTSD. That bitch shaped like a 40 ounce bottle, talking about some damn PTSD. You know, Alec Baldwin killed somebody and he's talking about it. Man, fuck these trash ass white people. That's why I be telling y'all, man. Even shit, like you niggas just need to like these are the biggest degenerates on earth, and niggas is worried about what they fuck them. Get it? Now they're saying that we'll refuse to leave. All right. Next bad joke, you getting banned for like yeah, we gonna ban you from the chat for a little while. We're not gonna block you. But if you say another bad joke, you getting banned for you getting banned from typing. Like I'm looking at all y'all jokes and they suck, nigga. Ain't nobody laughing. Yeah, Jim Carrey's over there, jealous as hell. Jim Carrey walked on stage and like tongue kissed a presenter one time. Sexual assault. Who the fuck is he to talk? Fuck them. Yeah, I see these niggas stop cracking jokes when I said next bad joke. I didn't say don't crack a joke. I said next bad one. That let me know you know your jokes ain't shit. That let me know you ain't got nothing funny to say. Carcino did a deep dive. I'm gonna I'm gonna go look that up. I didn't know Carcino be. I just found out about his channel about 6, 7 months ago. He has an interesting channel, and man, this is another thing. White people and non-black people who got put on by black people need to chill. We be putting black people put Jim Carrey on. White folks were not fucking with him. It's a every comedian talks about how Jim Carrey used to bomb all the time. Yeah, I can tell Carcino be knowing who he's talking about because I'm not in NBA circles anymore, but I used to be. And especially some of the older stories Carcino be telling, not I don't know as many of the newer stories as of now. But when Carcino be telling stories from like 5 years ago and back, I'll be like, oh, I think I know who he know. Or I know whoever it is he know is in the same circle as the people I knew. Cause it'll be like this nigga is he be telling he would tell shit that I would know happened. And I would hear about I would just hear about from cats that I know, and I still got people I can call. Even though I still got people I can call to find out basketball. I don't give a fuck about basketball no more. So if I do call people that are connected to the NBA, it's to see how they doing in their family. It ain't about no fucking basketball. But some of the shit Carcino be saying, I be like, okay, yeah. No one else knows. Like, well, people in the NBA is full of a bunch of open secrets. When I say open secrets, that means if you're in the environment, everybody kind of know. But if you're not in the environment, nobody knows. This is one of them things. I thought Ace Ventura was Jim Carrey's only good movie. What's up, Jason Miller? Man, I would love to come for Craig Fast, come down to the DMV area. We gonna do a lot of cities this summer. Hopefully, shit. I'd love to go down to DMV. We ever go to the Drew League? Yeah, all the time. When the Drew League come, I'm always at the Drew League. Not every week, but I'll be at the Drew League like at least every other week. I go to the Drew League every other week, every third week. I'll be sitting up there in the back corner minding my own business. And I loved Ace Ventura when it came out. But I think when it came out in '93, I was 12. But my favorite was Living Color. when he would do, when Jim Carrey do Fire Marshal Bill, that was the shit. Yeah, it was cool at Bosco, but Bosco they had no fucking air conditioning. Yeah. When Craig Fast comes to the Carolinas and or New York, hopefully soon. Hopefully this summer. Hopefully this summer. I hated the cable guy. I hated the cable guy. I didn't like the mask. I didn't like the first Ace Ventura was literally the only Jim Carrey movie that I liked. And I liked Jim Carrey when I was a kid. When he was on Living Color, I was a huge Jim Carrey fan, so it was easy for me to like his movies. I did not fuck with the movie. I tried to like Liar Liar. That shit was stupid to me. I remember shit, Liar. I remember going to sleep on Liar Liar. I hated Me, Myself, and Irene. I hated that fucking show. Movie I mean. Truman Show. I like this. I like the story of Truman Show. I didn't like it. Jim Carrey was neither here nor there. Anybody could have played his role, and I'd have been fine. The Truman Show story it was a good story. It was a good allegory. It was a really good allegory. But yeah, and Jim Carrey, I guess I loved him on Living Color, so I gave all of Jim Carrey's movies a fair shot in the '90s because he was one of my favorites on the Living Color. I just did not like their movies. He had Big Brother analogy. Yeah, Truman Show. Yeah, you learn a lot from that. You learn a lot from movies, man. I'm going to start decode. Tell me some movies y'all want me to decode. I'm a I'm gonna decode some movies. I'm put those up on my Patreon just so I can play some of the movie. I'm still waiting to do my shit on Eddie Murphy. I'm putting together a show on Eddie Murphy. I'm putting together a show on Eddie Murphy and thanking him for everything that he's done for us. Nigga said decode Sunset Park. Alright, I'm gonna decode the Wiz, I think, for y'all. And this nigga said decode Moonfall. Is that that gay movie is that that gay movie that won an Oscar? With that black Mahershala Ali nigga? I ain't decoding no gay movies. Above the rim. Y'all niggas is funny. Babylon spell the word favorite like a European. You from Europe, nigga? This motherfucker spell favorite like he's from somewhere in Great Britain. Hell no, I ain't decoding no LGBTQ movie. You can guarantee goddamn T that. I ain't decoding nothing with no booty duty activities. If it was booty play, I'm not fucking with it. See, I want to go back in. I gotta find the original Manchurian Candidate. Yeah, you should have said boo boo movies. Yeah, man. I'm cool on anything. I'm cool on anything with booty duty in it. Nah. You said that's how it's spelled. He's put he wrote spelt. See, it's spelled here, spelt in Commonwealth nations. Nigga, well, get your Commonwealth ass in an American dictionary, nigga. This is the United States. What up, boy? Yes, sir. Get your Commonwealth ass a common United States dictionary, nigga. This shit throw me off with all these Europeans and all these European spellings. Nigga said decode the help. Fuck y'all. Yeah, I watched The Banker. Yeah, Andre Bryant. I saw that clip of that lady from Disney talking about some, yeah, it's an obvious gay. They want booty activities in all the new Disney movies. That's sick. That is sick. I decode soul food at Biz Marquee. I decode your mama's soul food. That undercooked ass turkey she be throwing out there. I decode your mama's rubbery oxtails, nigga, but she can't cook. Biz Marquee. Your mama learned how to cook in a whorehouse when she was 13. Then, then by the time she was 15, she was flat laying on her back. That's why she never learned how to cook. Because in the middle of her cooking, she had to flip a few tricks because one of the other ladies called in sick that day, and she never got back on the stove since then. So I decode your mama's burnt rice, nigga. Yeah, slinging those plates, man. I'm just like, now I see why Babylon's jokes are so corny. This motherfucker is from the Commonwealth. Hey, Babylon, where you from? They spell that shit aluminium instead of aluminum. You talking to somebody in the United States, motherfucker, so you gotta say aluminum, not aluminium. Where you from, Commonwealth? Which Commonwealth you from? No, I'm gonna be at both shows. Yeah. Let's see here. They say you was decoding Predator last night. See, I don't watch movies that much. I'm not a big time movie watcher. If I watch a movie, it's usually because I'm trying to read something going on. Like, I've never really been into comic books and shit like that, but I've been watching more and more comic book movies lately because comic book movies is really where they tell you what's going on now and what's next. And comic book movies decode a lot of deep spiritual science. And the thing about the comic book movies is the superheroes, every superhero, whether you're talking about Batman, Superman, even Professor X, they're all illustrations of the powers we have within us. That's one thing I do know about the comic book movies. Every every single character is an illustration of the power that all of us have within. They're all aspects of us. When you watch those comic book movies, if you see yourself, nothing. If you go to be entertained, you're gonna miss the whole fucking story. Comic book movies, you got to see everything. Like Superman, he be in the room like his cave. Superman's cave is a room full of kyanite. Kyanite is a crystal that is blue kyanite actually. Blue kyanite is a calming crystal that thwarts negative energy. And you'll hear the same motherfuckers that they'll hear that you into tarot or numerology or crystals, and they'll be like, man, that's some pseudo shit. And then your dumb ass turn around and watch a comic book movie, and a comic book movie is telling you all that shit and how to use it, how real it is, how to use it, and what the potential is within you if you use these things properly. Comic book movie is telling you all that. And your dumb ass sitting there with a bag of popcorn being entertained talking about this shit that's pseudo. That's how backwards we are in society right now. That's how backwards we are. Yeah. I don't have a link to my Patreon yet. I have it. I have it. It's Patreon's Dwan be on Patreon, but I don't have a link up here right now because I just started. I haven't really been uploading too much stuff to Patreon yet. I'm about to start uploading more, but since I haven't been uploading too much stuff yet, I haven't been putting the link out there. But I'm gonna do that shit. These movies be having all the messages. You just gotta know what you're looking for. Take these fucking headphones. I love these motherfucking head. These Apple AirPod Maxes. Get you some. These are the shit. Get some of these. Yeah, horror movies too. Yep. Django was one of the greatest movies ever. Django was fucking great. Django. Yeah, I had the pros, but them pros in my eardrums, them motherfuckers wasn't fitting in right, man. Them hoes keep falling out. See, I got my pros here. See, I still got the pros. I love these motherfuckers, but the maxes, yeah. What's up, Chris Lane? He said, "What about Amistad? I ain't reviewing no damn Amistad." Yeah, Dick Gregory used to love Django. I have the custom phone tips, Nino. Them hoes, I didn't like them. Plus, just in my ear, like, I'll use these if I'm on the phone. Like, if I'm calling somebody, I put one in my ear. But these here, they like mold around your head. I've never had the professional musician headphones are usually flat. They're not EQ. Well, traditionally, professional musician headphones aren't EQ. They want professional musician headphones for everything. They want everything tuned to be pretty flat on purpose. Hey, where the Commonwealth dude go? He didn't, the homie from the Commonwealth didn't tell us where he from. What? Hey, Commonwealth. What country you in, man? Spelling shit all weird. You said the new IT movies parallels how white supremacy works? They want the notes flat. They want the notes flat so they can see, so they can hear everything at a base level. When it starts to get EQ, you can't tell whether to bring the guitar up or lower the levels. You want your levels to be right, so you want the EQs to be flat, so everything is flat. And then once people start making it, then when people make their adjustments to the music, they can adjust it to their personal taste. But if it's already EQ'd in the headphones, then it's harder for the listener, the end user, to adjust it. Are you from Australia? Oh, that's it. Okay, this motherfucker from Australia, he got a pet Komodo dragon that he puts thong draws on. Babylon got a pet Komodo dragon with a thong. Nigga. You got your pet Komodo in thong underwear and a t-shirt. That should be hilarious as hell. Or was that New Zealand? I can't see. It's kind of small as fuck. I'm trying to go back. Was it Australia or New Zealand? I can't find the comment. Australia, New Zealand. I can't find that motherfucker. God damn, that shit small as hell. Let me see here. Okay, I found it. Oh, well, that's New Zealand. That's Australia? I thought it was Australia. Down in Tasmania, down in Tasmania. Remember that cartoon? Tasmanian Devil? Fucking Australia. Y'all killed off all them fucking Tasmanians. Australia, y'all some dirty motherfuckers. How you gonna kill every Tasmanian? You couldn't let one live, nigga? The last remaining Tasmanian was what? Truganini? She is Truganini? Are you an ethnic? Good. Good, 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 good. They fucked them Tasmanians up, boy. How do I feel about being on that Fox Soul panel? Fox Soul is always Fox Soul is in it for the controversy. As a matter of fact, they finally sent me the full episode yesterday. So I think I'm not gonna go live tomorrow morning, but I'm gonna upload the full episode of Fox Soul tomorrow morning. Man, that shit right there. Fox Soul just wants to keep up. They want to perpetuate the arguments and shit. It- but it's so easy. People who work for Fox, like in Fox, the writers that work behind them, it's not them so much as it is the writers that are there. Those writers ain't that smart. So when they get somebody like me to come around, they ain't. It's so mainstream people. No, I can't call Tammy Mack a mammy. I can't call her that. Tammy Mack has a job. Her job is to stir the pot. So you don't know what Tammy Mack is thinking when she's asking those questions. You don't know what she's thinking when she's doing that. Her job is to stir the pot. Her job is to present the questions in a way that it'll be controversy. So when you see her doing that, she's just doing her job. Is she a mammy? She may be. She may be not. I lean towards no. I don't think she is, but just know when you watch shit like that, her job is to stir the pot, and she does her job well. Hell yeah, mainstream people are corny. It don't get cornier than the mainstream. It does not get any cornier than the mainstream. Yeah, I heard Cynthia G is on there too. Yeah, the full show, I think the one I have is like 52 minutes. 50, I forgot. You say you live in Sydney? That's dope. That's dope. Sydney, Australia. Salute to you, brother. Sydney, Australia. That's dope. I want to go there one day. Oh yeah, Voyage to Atlanta. This is one of the greatest songs ever put together. Oh, Meet X. You're right. I question anyone that watches. You're right, Quan. I question anyone that watches Cynthia G or Meet X. Like, what do you live? And I can't say I question people who listen to Yvette Carnell, because at the end of the day, they do want reparations. But I question anyone that takes Yvette Carnell serious. You say from a Syrian background? Shit. I'm having these a little congested. You're right. Same agenda, different ideologies. Yeah, that's it with Yvette. The agenda's good, but she wants everybody to follow her. And I remember I had that issue with Yvette Carnell when she blocked me. She was talking a whole bunch of shit about nothing. And I was like, hey, you Miss Carnell, understand that you stand on the shoulders of giants. And she was like, what giants do I stand on the shoulders of? I said, Dr. Claude Anderson. I said, Dr. Claude Anderson is a person, the whole reason why this reparation thing is seated in the minds of the masses is because we've really been going real hard paying attention to Dr. Claude Anderson. And when she came with the ADOS, the environment was ripe for that because of Dr. Claude Anderson. And so it's just one of those things where it's just like, these motherfuckers. And then so she turned around and then she was talking about she created this, she created that. I said, lady, you're not that interesting. You're bringing voice. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even be knowing that. I wouldn't even really be paying attention to you had Tariq not retweeted you a few times. I didn't like her. I stopped fucking with Yvette Carnell when she did that shit with Farrakhan on Boyce Watkins' channel. This back when Boyce Watkins was still cool. This back before Boyce Watkins got the new teeth. This is pre-teeth Boyce Watkins, before he started saying a whole bunch of dumb shit. And she fucked his channel off. I was like, man, I stopped fucking with her then. But since she was talking about reparations, I was like, I don't like her like that. She looked like Mad Max. So I don't really know if I feel like listening to her channel. But when she started talking about reparations, I said, okay. But then she started talking about she the leader of this shit. Nah. I used to be a big Roland Martin fan. So you gotta realize I'm a millennial, man. I grew up on Roland Martin. Roland Martin would be on the BET news break when we was like in our teens and 20s. Roland Martin was always around since the 90s. So I really did like Roland Martin at one point in my life. And then during the Obama years when I started to see him differently. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Chris. Roland Martin did get pissed off at something I said on Twitter one time a few years ago. I had that nigga all in his feelings. No, 1981 is millennials. Millennials started in 1980. Millennial means people who will be reaching adulthood at the millennium. Gen X is 65 to 79, sometime around there. I'm a millennial. Yeah, you're right. Yvette did this Dr. Wilson. I used to think Roland Martin had our best interests at heart. But during them, when Obama came around, it was like, okay, this nigga funny. This nigga funny acting. You say you just made the Gen X? Sucks for you. Yeah, you're right. You can't be my leaner or no lineage. Well, you should know what I think of Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse Lee Peterson is a cocoon. Gen Z, 1995. You niggas was born the year I started. I graduated middle school. Y'all Gen Z. You said you couldn't wait for Roland Martin's segment on Tom Joyner? Yeah, it was something like after 2012, there was somewhat of an awakening. People started to see what the light was. People started to see through a lot of bullshit. Are you Gen Z? Gen Z, I feel bad for y'all Gen Z. Like Gen Z, y'all smart as fuck. But the propaganda y'all faced was real. And it's gonna be even more real moving forward. Gen Z, y'all never got real radio stations. Y'all didn't get real TV before TV was saturated. Y'all didn't get to play outside, nigga. See, being a millennial, my life was perfect. I was born before the internet became a big thing, but by the time I got to my teen years, the internet was around in chat rooms. Like I was in chat rooms in my teen years, but in the 80s, we got to be outside all the time. It wasn't no goddamn internet in the 80s. We used to be outside from sunup till about 12 in the morning. You was born in '01? God damn, you was born when the Lakers went 15-1 against the Sixers in the finals, in the playoffs. Hell yeah, I remember 103.9 KAC. I credit them for my deep knowledge of old school music. That's all I used to listen to. You're right, chat rooms was green and black back in the day. When I was in chat room, I was in Yahoo Chat back in the day. I used to be in Yahoo Chat in the 90s, in the early 2000s, talking shit. It wasn't no fucking pictures. No one had a picture in the 90s on the internet. Yeah, I remember the party line. No one had pictures in the internet, so you be meeting chicks Sight Unseen. And that shit was bad. Yeah. Gen Z, y'all grew up in the fuckboy era of hip hop. Hip hop was fuckboy music by the time y'all got into it. Hip hop was fuckboy music. I got big chains. I got big rims. I'm better than you. What's up, Sherelle Bryant? Y'all grew up in that bullshit ass era of hip hop. Y'all didn't even really get Gen Z. Y'all didn't even really get R&B. Y'all missed R&B. Unless you found your way to pick up Robert Glasper or Erykah Badu or somebody or Jill Scott, y'all missed out on R&B. Hip hop fell off before Dr. Dre's 2001. Hip hop was already falling off by the time the Chronic came out. But I see I see why you would draw that line in 2001. I see why you would. I take it back to 98. 98 was when hip hop really started to fall out. The last great year of hip hop, like just of unobstructed hip hop, was 1996. After 96 is when the wheels got in motion to really fuck hip hop over. I don't even call it neo soul is what they call it. But really, if you're thinking about neo soul is just authentic R&B. But it kind of got relabeled because when neo soul became a thing in the late 90s and the early 2000s, R&B had gotten so far off of its kilter. R&B had gone through the adult contemporary era of the 80s to the New Jack Swing era of the early 90s. R&B, by the time you get to the late 90s, early 2000s, that shit's dominated by Usher. Usher is so cheesy. Usher is so goddamn corny. There's no way Usher exists in an environment in the 80s or the 90s when you got cats like Stevie Wonder and Charlie Wilson out there. There's no way Usher would have survived. The fact that Usher made it as big as he made it in the mid 2000s lets you know how far down R&B had fallen. But the neo soul cats, they were keeping the sound. The Music Soul Child, Layla Hathaway, they were the ones keeping the true soul sound. Julio G, ha. Did the South ruin? I can't say the South ruined rap because the South gave us the ghetto, gave us not so much the Ghetto Boys, but the South gave us Scarface and it gave us Outkast and the Dungeon Family. But I will say this: when the South got hip hop, the South wasn't the South. I want to say this carefully because I don't want to shit on the South totally. But the South wasn't responsible when they got hip hop. The South wasn't responsible. They weren't responsible. Before it got to the South, there was you're right, Quan. Jill Scott and Erykah Badu revived R&B, but the South wasn't responsible with the mic. See, when the West had it, you had the balance of gangster and message music. As a matter of fact, message music was before gangster rap. And on the East Coast, when they had it, you had the bullshit music, but you also had message music. The South, when they got it, they said, fuck the messages. But even when we look at Scarface and Outkast, they were in their prime in the 90s. That was before the South got it. The South got it in the 2000s. And yeah, the South gave us T.I. and Shawty Low but name the artist that gave consistent game from the South. And I'm not talking about drug dealing game or game on fucking with these hoes. Who is the name? Can y'all help me out? Who is the orator from the South? And I'm not talking about anybody that came out in the 90s. I'm talking about people who came from the South who came out after 2001. Who amongst them really has something to say? Yeah, Big Crit. But Big Crit ain't mainstream. Goody Mob 90s. Portis, she cool as hell. I used to do a show at Portis' studio. Portis got a whole bunch of dope 90s, 80s rap stories. CeeLo Green, that's 90s. David Banner says some stuff now, but when he came out, David Banner started talking that real shit after he fell off. See, y'all either give me, when we come to the South, you give me a whole bunch of people who either came out, the people who gave messages came out in the 90s, or they're underground. Bun B is a solo artist, but who listened to Bun B as a solo artist? I mean, yeah, he was good. I love Devin the Dude. Again, he came out in the 90s. When the South had some good music back in the 90s, people were sleeping on it. People were sleeping on the South back when they was putting out good music. After 2001, I mean, who? Again, I ain't talking about people who gave good drug game on how to live yourself in the streets. I'm talking about who from the South gave consistent messages on being a man. Ice Cube taught you how to be a militant man. KRS-One taught you how to be a man. Scarface 90s, Pastor Troy 90s. Hell, Scarface damn 80s damn near. So when people say, you know, did the hip hop fall off when it got to the South? I'll say serious music fell off when the South got the mantle. It went to 100% party. It's like, and I ain't tripping on partying music. The music is party or lean, all of it. I mean, like 95% of it. I didn't ask if you're listening to Ice Cube or not. Who said you were? Okay, Boosie, we got one. Yeah, big money got involved, but you still got to take some responsibility, folks. Maybe the big money got involved and went to the South because they knew the South wouldn't fight back. Is that true? I don't know. So that's how I answer that. Anybody that really gave you that game. Yeah, like here on the West Coast, really everybody kind of gave you some kind of game. The game didn't. The game was just all hood music, but even Dre will give you game. Snoop dropped some, didn't Snoop didn't drop that much game. He dropped some game. He's really made really good music. But Kendrick dropped hella game. Quan said, "Are you serious, Dominic? What did Dominic ask?" Yeah. MCA dropped game, so did MCA used to drop game, so did Too Short, so did Quick. That's my only, like I said, that's my only issue with the South music. But at the end of the day, you only gonna listen to music that vibrates with your environment. That's what music is. You miss it. You listen to what vibrates with your environment. You never hear me talk shit about the South because I don't really listen to South music like that. I love Outkast. Although Outkast is my favorite group of all time, I like Outkast more than I like NWA. I like the Goody Mob. I like the Goody Mob. But overall, I don't really fuck with South music. Not because it's bad, but because it's a different vibration. I love Tribe Called Quest. Man, St. Louis music now, I'm not gonna too much shit on the South, but St. Louis music, that shit was flat out trash. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That shit was trash. Listen to my music. This one now, right here, this is my shit right here. Listen. More than the greatest love the world has known. This is the love I give to you alone. More than the simple words I try to say. I only live to love you more each day. Shit, you'll never know my to hold you on. We in the wrong, been thinking, sleeping, laughing, weeping. Nigga said do the crossing. Fuck you, Smoke Splitter. Now y'all don't know, man. I love me some fucking Count Basie. I love Count Basie. Sinatra was cool, but I love that song for Basie. Yeah, that's Sinatra, but that's Basie. You gotta realize, Count Basie was the Dr. Dre of his day. Count Basie is where everybody went to get a hit. When people's careers started to fall off, Count Basie either launched your career or he saved your career. He launched Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Lester Young, but he saved Sinatra's career. He saved Tony Bennett's career. He even saved, what's that little, Sammy Davis Jr.'s career. I love Sun Ra. Fats Domino did rock and roll. Fats Domino and Count Basie were far different. Fats Domino created reggae, and he went a long way in popularizing R&B. But Count Basie, and you know, I just found out. The other day I was at my grandfather's house. My grandfather's 80. He's 98 years old now. I've been knowing my grandfather. I never knew my grandfather used to work. He said Count Basie's band used to rehearse in his living room back in the 1940s. Yes, I love Basie I love Duke too. But I'm going to listen to Count Basie 8 times to every one time I listen to Duke. What y'all know about this song right here? Who sampled this song coming up next? Who sampled this? Who sampled that? Yep. 7 Minutes of Funk by the whole darn family. 7 Minutes of Funk. Basie and Coltrane are in 2 different categories. Basie was a band leader. Big band leader. Coltrane was an innovative saxophonist. Comparing Basie to Coltrane would be like comparing Pharrell. That would be like comparing, who can I say? That would be like comparing like Dr. Dre and his production with goddamn Kendrick Lamar. 2 different sides of the music they pulling from. Basie. Yeah, Drew Down sampled that too, yep. So we got to get back into our jazz, black folks. Got to get back into our jazz. Oh yeah, Pimp of the Year, he did sample that. I forgot about that album. Yeah, I like Dexter Garden. Yeah. And she never left it. That's right. Why I feel like the older generation be hoarding onto info from the... Because the older generation is stupid. That's why Dedication 666. The older generation be on some dumb ego shit. Acting like they got something over somebody from not passing information down. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my generation and older. Well, not so much my generation. My generation is is talking to you niggas more. But the generation older than me, I don't know what's wrong with them weird ass niggas. They don't. You're right. I hate when people my age and older talk shit to the kids and then be like, but man, these kids are stupid, man. These young motherfuckers, man. I can't stand these young motherfuckers, man. Shit, these nigga. Well, teach them then, nigga. Fuck you mad at them for? I love Cab Calloway. No, it's a lot of people whom you can't jump. No. You can't jump to Kanye. No. A lot of the greatest producers came in the 70s. Music got moved forward very fast in the 70s. Kanye's not on the level of a lot of your cats from the sample them for a reason. Come on now, you can't skip. When you get past Basie, you gotta go to the 60s and the 70s. Man, starting with Holland Dozier Holland for Norman Whitfield as far as moving music forward. Norman Whitfield, nigga, come on, the Temptations. Rosewood, Norman Whitfield. You got Hal Davis, Leon Ware, Isaac Hayes and Porter, Gamble and Huff. No. One thing we not gonna do is skip over the 70s. That's the greatest generation of music ever. The greatest period of music ever was between 1968 and 1980. The greatest era of music ever. Let me say it again. And I'm born in 1981. So I'm being very. This ain't even my generation. No. The greatest era is the '70s. Gene Page, motherfucking my, Mr. James Carmichael, my father-in-law. I put my father-in-law, Mr. Carmichael, ahead of almost all of these hip hop producers. I got you, DJ Brown. George Duke, yeah. This is what y'all gotta realize. I was talking to my father-in-law, when I talked to him about how he composed music, when he was composing music in the 60s and the 70s, that shit was by pencil and paper. He used to, and his shit is still gets sampled to this day. That was his violin part that got sampled from Eddie Kendricks that ended up being used by Q-Tip. I mean, when he would have to write on a piece of paper every note for a 32-piece orchestra to back the music. And then when he finished writing the strings, he'd have to write each horn, every note they're going to play, and he'd write every note the singer sang. So when you listen to that early Michael Jackson, "I'll Be There," that slight crescendo that happens throughout the song, my father-in-law wrote those notes one by one. And then after they wrote all of those notes and recorded all of those different parts of the music, they still had to come and compose it and put together. Like, you got to realize, Paul Reiser wrote string arrangements better than Johann Sebastian Bach. Same thing with Gene Page and Mr. James Carmichael. These niggas is writing pieces of music that aren't even being used anymore. What y'all know about this? This is the original. Well, let me go back to the. Let me go back to the front. Let me see if y'all recognize this song right here. Where'd I get taken from? So, y'all gotta know, when it comes to the 70s, you're right, there were no machines back then. You couldn't autocorrect something. If a note wasn't right, you had to bring them back in the studio and re-record it. Like, no. Yep, Campbell took that, yep. Who this original? This by a band called Dynasty. Adventures in the Land of Music. That's the name of that song. Adventures in the Land of Music by Dynasty. So you see what I mean? They want y'all to jump right to these hip hop producers. These 90s and 2000s and current, these hip hop producers ain't shit without that. Music in the 70s was so goddamn good. It's music that's hits now that couldn't crack the top 40 in the 70s. Because it was so much good music in the 70s. It's not that your song was bad if it rose to number 37. It's not that it was bad, but it was so much other goddamn good music, that's as high as it could go. And then that same song turns into a hit 20 years later. I started studying music when I was 14. Oh yeah, I love Donald Byrd. Donald Byrd wasn't afraid to include younger musicians. Donald Byrd, those were his students. The Blackbirds were his students at Howard University. Donald Byrd had students at Howard University, and he put them on. I started learning music when I was 14 because anytime I do something, I like learning the history of it. Can I judge a debate? Email me, info@hotepish.com. Yeah, even white bands was dope in the 70s. You're right about that. Like, you don't realize, like, part of me and Funkadelic, in order to get that sound that they had, the niggas used to rehearse 12 hours a day sometimes. Earth and Fire, they rehearsed 6, 7, 8, 12 hours a day. Yeah, Toto was great. My father-in-law said that he used Toto to back a lot of his music. A lot of the stuff that he did, like with Lionel Richie, Toto was the backing band. Yeah. Yeah, you can't deny it. Of course, people are going to hate our music because they can't do it. People hate what they can't recreate. Yeah. I love Average White Band. I was playing Average White Band on my last Incense and Ashtrays episode. Yeah, Ambrosia was good. Is it a book or a documentary I recommend? No, not no one. I recommend all of them. I've always liked documentaries. The best documentaries be biographies of people. When you want to look up a certain artist or a certain band, do their biography because you'll learn a lot about the environment. Most documentaries on bands or artists, they tell a lot also about what was going on at that time. But if I was going to recommend one documentary, if you guys have Amazon Prime, or you don't have to have it, if you have Amazon, it's worth it to pay the $4 a month for the PBS documentary series. It's worth it to pay for the PBS doc, because they have a documentary on jazz on PBS. It's like a 8 or 9 part series on jazz. That's a great documentary. Yeah, the Funk Brothers was a good documentary. Do y'all know Randy Short helped put that together? Dr. Randy Short had like some of those Funk Brothers come down to Washington, D.C. to do a live concert. Yeah, Summer Soul was cool. Yeah, Dr. Randy Short helped a lot. He helped a lot out with that. With that. Yeah, the Teddy Pendergrass documentary was good too. I recommend every documentary you can watch. Every documentary on every artist, on every genre. That's what I recommend. Because for me, I've been watching documentaries very closely, again, since I was 14. Well, even before, I was watching documentaries before then. Oh yeah, good one, Quan. Unsung. Watch every episode of Unsung 3 times. I talked to my father-in-law about when he did Unsung. He did the Unsung, the one with Atlantic Star. He said them motherfuckers knew they worked better than any documentary he ever did. And the James Brown documentary was good too. But like when I've been studying, like for me, it just kind of comes out to me natural because I've been like when I was young, when I was a teenager, I didn't listen to that much. I listened to some hip hop, but when I was 15, I was listening to Earth and Fire. I was listening to Isaac Hayes. That's why I know that music from the 60s and 70s so well. That's what I was listening to when I was 15. I was listening to Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Teddy Pendergrass, and then I was listening to KACE. That was a old school radio station out here. They would interview some of those old artists back when a lot of those guys were still alive back in the 90s. So they would have interviews with those guys, and I have a really good memory. I would listen to those interviews and just remember what they said, and then whatever interviews I can get to in time, I would tape them. I would put them on I would record them on tape. And my dad was always into documentaries, so my dad, I need a VHS, like something that could rip VHS tapes to hard drive, because my dad had a lot of VHS tapes from the 80s with like Motown documentaries from the 80s. And again, these documentaries were going on while most of these people were still alive. So I've been on the, and on top of that with me, I've been playing the drums since I was 14. So look, I'm from LA. So when you from LA, you rub elbows with everybody. Like at your church. Like the dude that played the congos at my church used to play with BT Express out of New York. That's where Kasif got his start. So I would listen to some of his stories. Our music director, his dad was Skip Scarborough, one of the greatest songwriters ever. He wrote "Don't Ask My Neighbor About Emotions," and I did a breakdown on him on my Incense and Ashtray. So I knew when I was like 16, 17, one of the dudes that played the trumpet at my church used to play the trumpet for Earth, Wind, and Fire. So when we would like have different church gigs and their rehearsals, his name was Romley Davis. I would just ask Romley every question I could ask him about Earth, Wind, and Fire. So a lot of my stuff, my memory comes from not just documentaries, but just being born and raised in LA. You rub elbows with everybody. And when I would get around these people, I would ask them questions. So a lot of the stuff that I'm telling you, you're not going to find on a documentary. Yeah, Cali Funk is underrated. Tower of Power, Confunction, Cameo. You forgot War, Rolls Royce. If I'm going to doo-wop bands, The Whispers. Disco started in LA. Barry White, the first disco song ever. Yeah, Quan, I am documenting him. He just don't like he don't like interviewing. So he hasn't done an interview yet, but I do have some recordings of him talking music. Yeah. I used to play the drums with Kamasi. Not like with him direct. Like Kamasi, he played the church I used to play the drums at. Kamasi's uncle used to play the organ at the church I used to play at. His uncle. So every now and again, Kamasi, this is back when we was teenagers though. Kamasi, we the same age. He went to Hamilton, I went to Westchester. Kamasi, when he would play around before he got like famous, he would play around at different churches, and he played at my church a few times. Kamasi cool as hell. Mavericks Flat, yeah, that's where my dad used to hang out. Hell no, I don't go to no West Angeles. I used to visit. I used to drive past West Angeles. Yeah, there really does need to be a Barry White biopic. Barry White, man. Yeah, I need something that can convert VHSs to put VHS tapes on my hard drive. Because my dad recorded a bunch of dope ass documentaries from the 80s that I want to get my hands back on now. Yeah, we gotta protect our music. That'd be good if Big Quick does a biopic. Dude said, I'm in the dark because of fat jokes. Well, if you had anything funny to say, the darkness wouldn't stop it, you untalented motherfucker. God damn, some of you niggas is simple. You used to live down the street from Marvin Gaye. Oh, you live over there off Gramercy? That whole historic area of LA. Yeah, you can see the house Marvin Gaye got. If you ever in LA, you can see the house that Marvin Gaye got killed off the 10 freeway. When you're going under the Arlington exit, just on the other side of it, you can see the house that Marvin Gaye got killed at, and that he lived at. Oh, they do cartoons? Thanks for that, man. They have VHS to computer connection kits? All right. Do I think it's haunted? Maybe. It may be. I don't know. Stream recorder with RCA ports? Okay. Yeah, they are. You're right about that, Sherelle Bright. If you're not from the culture, you're a guest. And one thing about black people, we're very welcoming to our guests. So other people shouldn't have a problem with that. You hit the like button. Yeah, wood, brass, and steel. We do have to protect our music. What's up, Lady B? You coming to the show? You get your tickets yet? If you didn't get your ticket yet, put my name in the box where it says coupon code. Put my name in there if you haven't got your ticket yet. Bay Area rap. Bay Area is all over the place. That's one thing I appreciate about the Bay Area. Everybody got their own sound in the Bay Area. I can't say Hall and Oates and Steely Dan didn't take our sound. They didn't take shit. You know, they didn't take anything. They just did their interpretation of our sound. Don't get it. Don't get in that. Don't just give shit away. Matter of fact, on top of that, the way Steely Dan put their music, they used us for their sound. Their sound. Steely Dan is just two guys. The last time the band was together was for the Pretzel Logic album. When you get up to the Asia album, Steely Dan used house musicians, and it was mostly black musicians. That's Bernard Purdy, the most recorded drummer of all time. That's him on Deacon Blues. And I Got the News. That's Steve Gadd on Asia. Steve Gadd isn't black, but Steve Gadd is like an Italian white boy who Quincy Jones used a lot on his music. Steve Gadd did a lot of funk albums, even though he's like a Italian white boy. They used Steve Gadd. They used Bernard Purdy. Steely Dan used Wayne Shorter to play saxophone. Steely Dan they had songs with Louis Johnson on bass. Like, Steely Dan, for the most part, had a black band. They didn't steal anything. They just liked our sound and they did their best version of it. Hell yeah, Asia was a classic. Up on the hill, they got time to run. There's no return. Yeah, you got to go back. I appreciate that. My help that made your production better. That's what's up. Booker T and the MGs. You know Booker T and the MGs? They play a lot of the backing stuff for Aretha Franklin. Oh yeah, 80s they had more respect. See, a lot of the white acts never really lied about getting the music from us. So you got to realize one thing that Basie really brought a style of producing. You can play whatever you want to play as long as it swings. That was the same style of producing that George Clinton had. George Clinton's style was you can play whatever you want to play as long as it's funky. Home at Last, that's Bernard Purdy on the drums. It's a black man. Played the Purdy Shuffle. That's why that drum lick is so slick. Only one motherfucker can play that. And that's Bernard Purdy. Yeah, there was always a white boy in the crew, Steve Cropper from Booker T and MGs. Also, what's his name from the Funk Brothers, the white guitarist? I forgot his name. Hard Tunes, I'm still waiting on your email, nigga. I told you I got some. I'm gonna send you a couple loops. Info@incenseandashtrays.com. Info@incenseandashtrays.com. Oh yeah, I saw that breakdown of the Asia album. I saw that shit years ago. That shit came out like in like the 90s. I remember watching that shit like when I was like a long ass time ago. Yeah, the Beatles and Elvis, yeah. Yeah, that white boy that played with Side of Family Stone wasn't no joke. You buy tickets for the show at thecraigsmith.com. TheCraigsSmith. thecraigsmith.com. Hell yeah, I got an elephant memory. Doogie 54, what up? Yeah, Larry Graham brought in slap bassing. One more E, Quan. One. I think Craig Smith's website is one more E. THEE. I think. Just click on it to make sure. If I'm wrong, I could be wrong. Shit. I don't. The Beatles are the worst fucking band. I can't stand the Beatles. The Beatles make my fucking. The Beatles make the back of my dick itch. Y'all know how that is, fellas. You wearing some damn. You out in public, and the backside of your dick itch, and you can't scratch that motherfucker because you don't want to make it seem. You don't want to look like a pervert. So you got to sit there with the back of your dick itching. That's what the Beatles music does to me. Like, at least at the front of my dick was itching, I could swipe over that motherfucker real slick and act like I was just zipping my pants up. But with the back of your dick itch, you got to lift that motherfucker up. That's how I feel about the Beatles. I hate the Beatles. Well, I don't want to say hate. I don't hate nothing. But that's some of the worst fucking music ever. That nigga Clinton, you're right, Clinton. Sometimes you can scratch through your pocket, but sometimes you can't. Quan said start hopping. Yeah, you be in line at the checkout stand jogging in place. Yeah, the Doors. Yeah, Craig Fax is cool. Man, Led Zeppelin is a knockoff Funkadelic. Knockoff Jimi Hendrix. We back? I'm over here fucking around my Spotify. I had y'all off. I love Average White Band. I'm gonna say yeah, Craig Fax is fun, man. What else y'all talking about? Oh, Todd Fallen? Ha 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 ha. That shit. I laughed so goddamn hard. I raced DJ Show yesterday, man. I should know good and hell well. I ain't ran since my knee surgery. And I had a joint in my mouth and my glasses in one hand and my phone in the other. What the fuck am I doing racing? I just don't know how that nigga beat me by one step, and I'm 100 pounds heavier than that nigga. I ain't ran it so goddamn long. My leg fucked up right now. But Todd falling, that was the funniest shit. Dang. He said he opened up a show. Who opened up a show with a 25-minute bass solo? Oh, yeah. You got to see Ty fall. Ty falling. That nigga Ty bet Blaze, too. That shit was funny. They got to talking shit. That nigga Ty pulled $20 out. Blaze was like, you can't beat me, Ty. Ty pulled out $20. And then, as soon as the race got started, boop. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, Larry Graham had 25-minute bass solo? That's dope. Now the headband stayed on. How did the headband come off? Now this was after yesterday's show. We just was all talking shit after the show. So niggas just started racing each other outside after the show. I don't know. I don't even know how we started racing each other. I don't know how the fuck that started. Shouts out to Vegas. I don't even know how the fuck we got on racing each other, but we did. Yeah. That's dope as hell. 25-minute bass solo. I remember hearing about that Prince and Larry Graham, but I was still in high school. I didn't have a car back then. I couldn't go to that when they were touring together. If I were in prison, I doubt I'd be on YouTube Live. I'm not about to turn my lights on to talk to you niggas. I'm high. The fuck I look like with a light? I ain't turning no damn light on. All this weed I be smoking. Y'all want me to turn the lights on so you can see me? Dwan, we want to see you. No, you don't. No, you don't. You already know how I look. I don't turn no damn. You're right. Thank you, Quan. I ain't trying to seduce no niggas. Trying to seduce. Why can't we see you? Because I don't feel like turning no goddamn light on. That's why. I'm going to be at that Parliament Funkadelic concert in November. Now, I ain't playing no electric guitar. That shit going to fuck my fingers up. Man, my eyes are sensitive to like I said, the only reason why. Look, I wear glasses on Craig Facts for one reason. Because I be high. If I'm not high that day, I ain't wearing no fucking glasses in no room. I only wear the glasses because I be high as fuck. I smoke right before the show. I smoke on the break. And I smoke after the show. I be high as fuck on Craig Facts. Sorry about that. That was my wife calling me, let me know she on the way home. She at her parents' house. That's why I'm talking to you niggas. When my wife get home, I ain't talking to you niggas no more. I'm be chilling with my best friend. I'm be chilling with my best friend. Are you listening to y'all hear my music in the background? Bismarck T. I love this song. Gavin Huff. Nights over Egypt. Who has the best uniforms in the NBA? Probably the Charlotte Hornets. I love this song right here. Hey, and I got a special connection to this song by the Jones Girls. Nights over Egypt. My first time ever on a mushroom trip, this song came on. It was like my first time ever doing mushrooms. Because when you do mushrooms, you don't know that shit hit until it hit. And I remember I was just sitting there listening to music. The mushrooms weren't hitting. It was normal. And then like as soon as this song came on, I just started like going like, huh? Oh shit. And then like I closed my eyes and I saw like 17 different colors I never saw before. And this song was playing when I was on that first mushroom trip. So every time I hear this song, I think about my first mushroom trip ever and them fucking unicorns and shit that I saw when I closed my eyes. I think I'm gonna do some shrooms this weekend. Cause we got Craig Facts Live next week. Yeah, I think I'm gonna shroom out on Saturday night. You say your 6-year-old knows Earth and Fire and Eyes, brother. That's right. We gotta continue to play that music from the 70s for our kids. And the reason why we gotta continue to play that music from the 70s for our kids is because I said before, that's the last time music wasn't flooded with a whole bunch of unnatural sounds. Every sound that came out back then was played by a human being on a human instrument. So you gotta give your kids that vibration of real music, non-processed. No, motherfucker. You say you never tried shrooms, but you try X? What kind of backwards shit is that, Quan? See, my line is laboratory drugs. I can do psychedelics. If it came from the earth, I can do it. I'm not fucking with laboratory drugs. I'm not fucking with X. I'm not fucking with tablets. I'm not fucking with acid. I'm not fucking with none of that shit. Nah, my shit is shrooms, nigga. But I only do shrooms every now and again. Because they don't stay effective. What about coke? Hell no. I started to do coke one time. If I was going to do coke, that would have happened in my 20s. That would happen in my 20s. Nah, but shrooms, that's how you get to the bottom of shit. I'm not judging you. Look, if you down with coke, I'm not judging you. I just pray that you don't end up like my boy Fuquan, man. And with no goddamn laced coke. I just pray for you, man. But like other than that, nigga, have fun. When it come down to it, you gotta do whatever your consciousness is. You need to go as far as your consciousness allows you to go. That's what you need to do with it. So if your consciousness says coke is a thing for you, then do it. I ain't want to tell people what they should and shouldn't do. I tell people to follow your consciousness. Whatever you do, make sure it's your decision. I got shrooms all over this motherfucking house. I got shroom candy bars in this motherfucker. I got shroom lemonade. I got actual shrooms. God damn it. I hate, man. I tore my this old cheap ass hemp paper. Look at this. Y'all can't see. I just tore my goddamn joint paper. Thin ass shit. What's up, Amir? Me and Amir go back to the 7th grade. Never forget your friends from back in the day. Amir was one of my best friends back in the 7th grade. I still got love for that motherfucker now. I swear, Amir, when we got back in contact on social media, I remember back in high school, I used to be like, what happened to that motherfucker Amir? I didn't know you went back to Iran. I did not know you went back to Iran. You were supposed to come to Westchester with the rest of us. But your ass went back to Iran. Yeah. You said your homegirl would try different stuff with the OGs, yeah. And this nigga Amir was the only motherfucker that came to the United States and then went back to Iran. I swear I want to go to Iran one day. Iran is beautiful, man. Fuck these countries and their wars. Iran is a beautiful country. That's Mesopotamia right there. You said someone tried to offer you some jungle shrooms? Man, I love shrooms. I love shrooms, man. Shrooms will get you to your inner self real fast. Y'all know about this song that's on right now. Rant. Roy Ayers. Some good weed rolling music too. Now that's not a Roy Ayers sample. This is a group that Roy Ayers had out back in the 70s called Ramp. R-A-M-P. They did one album. It was these 3 sisters. Not sisters, but 3 black women. They didn't have a lead singer. They all just sang harmony in unison together the whole song. But again, great ass. And this music, this song has been sampled a lot. It's called Daylight. Again, it shows you how great music in the 70s was. This shit never got to the top 40. But this shit's damn near 50 years old, 45 years old. And it still sounds great. This shit came out before I was born. And it sounds amazing. That's how great 70s music was. When you have live instrumentation in your music, it's timeless. For all you music producers out there, when y'all start doing all the newest sounds, you're dating your music. When you start playing all these new weird ass sounds, you're time stamping your music. That's the mistake of Howard Hewitt's career. I say study Howard Hewitt. Howard Hewitt had a lot of great music back in the 80s. He was very popular in the 80s too. But all of Howard Hewitt's music sounds 80s. I mean, super 80s. So his music got stuck in the 80s. Versus Anita Baker. Anita Baker, she came out in the 80s, but her instrumentation was live. So Anita Baker's music still lives. Howard Hewitt's music doesn't. Yeah, Zoom, my father-in-law composed that. He wrote that song by hand. Every string, the whole string arrangements, the vocals, the horns. That's why Zoom is classic. He wrote that song by hand, and it was performed by live musicians. The time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Howard Hewitt. Go look at Howard Hewitt had all the shags, didn't he? It was like Howard Hewitt had a variation of the shag, a different variation of a shag in every fucking video he had. Remember that? Howard Hewitt had the box shag, the rounded shag, the long shag, the short shag, the shag that sort of flared out once it got to your neck. This nigga had all the shags. Like if there was a shag to be had, Howard Hewitt had it. That nigga had all the shags. Like, damn, Howard Hewitt. Looking for E? For E?
I'm sorry?
E? Yeah, first one upstairs. Yeah. What up, y'all? I didn't know Howard Hewitt lived in Hancock Park. Bet he don't live there no more. I hope he paid for his house cash. But Howard Hewitt had all that 80s music, and his music is stuck there along with his shags. That nigga had all the shags. I'm about to get the fuck up off here. Check out the video from earlier, and I'm going to upload the Fox Soul video later on this week. Have a good one. He said Howard Hewitt concert in Minneapolis, he got robbed by people he owed coke money to. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That nigga Howard Hewitt was the shag master. Like, if you want to know how every single shag, and before I get off here, let's just, I like to go on a rant about how corny the 80s was at least once a month. Because the 80s was corny as hell. And them shags like Howard Hewitt is a perfect example as to why the 80s was so goddamn corny. Who decided one day to say, hey, let's let all of the hair grow in the back of my head and then box it off into a designer style? Who wants more hair on their neck? That lets you know, nigga, in the 80s, nigga, if you didn't have a shag in the 80s, you wasn't shit. But who wants a hot neck? I don't get it. Ellie don't get that cold. Why you got a shag? Man, if you don't get that cheap-ass car out of here, nigga. This motherfucker car got 2 horsepower and 2 cylinders making all that goddamn noise. Fuck the 80s, man. Yeah, Yellow Breeze do got that, yeah. And that motherfucker on the Thunder got that. No, it wasn't gunshots. That was somebody in a 2-cylinder, in a fucking old-ass Infinity and a cheap-ass muffler. That's what that was. I'm gonna go up and I'm about to sit out here and wait for my wife to get home, y'all. Check out the videos from earlier today and all that good shit, man. I'm out. Y'all have a good one.